Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Summit for Europe. We're getting ready for winner's bracket action here as Alliance takes on the CIS-Rejects. Of course, I'm LD. This is WinteR. He's traveled all the way to Los Angeles to be with us because you were so excited for the Summit 4. So we're about to hop into the draft here. Do apologize for the stream crashing, guys. Unfortunately, XSplit decided it wanted to take a little holiday. But with that said, Alliance, CIS-Rejects, they're well underway here with the picks and the bans. So let's go ahead and see what the teams are brewing up for us. First overall pick, IO, WinteR, and I think very interestingly, no Nature's Prophet first phase ban, which a lot of teams have been doing versus Alliance, and no Broodmother ban in the first phase.
I think the Brood one is the difference in the last few days. Every game has been first phase ban Broodmother. But Alliance, they have not been running the heroes so much, so I guess CIS-Rejects figured that if
they can get away with it.
Yeah, if they don't want to go for it, they can actually get away by banning it in the second phase. And I see recently the Night Stalker has been on a rise in all the recent series. He's been getting picked up more and more ever since the buff, the 2 HP regen buff on him, allows him to be actually much more aggressive as a support in the lane. So quite interesting to see the Night Stalker getting first phase ban here. And Alliance, after seeing the IR response with Queen and Tusk is still one of the strongest heroes I feel in the current meta, even after the patch. So kinda obvious here to go for the hero
And
as early as possible.
They're now gonna grab the Beastmaster, so it looks like it might be a support Tusk with Bulldog potentially handling the Beastmaster. Of course, he is known for his micro skills, so Beastmaster could be a very suitable hero for him. I guess the other slight option is if they want to run something else for Bulldog and you run like an S4 Beastmaster, a Loda Quap, but generally Quap is not really a Loda hero.
Or they can actually do even off lane Queen of Pain with Tusk, dual lane. Queen plus Tusk.
That's interesting.
Then Beastmaster
for S4,
yeah,
and then Loda plays something else. Yeah, I guess that's possible too.
It feels more like Alliance playstyle because S4 is usually on bad part Beastmaster. That's how they want to run things. Sorry, even with the Magnus at times. So, but I do feel like Beastmaster usually fits more of a off-lane role. But we do see from 5 Youngs that they do like to run Fatal on the Beastmaster as well on the mid lane.
And the Rubik now grabbed by CIS-Rejects. So, well, some good spells to steal here. The Roar, pretty much anything that Tusk has. Of course, Queen of Pain's Blink and damage spells quite nice. But this is a curveball, WinteR. We're going to see the new Lich, new and improved. Your denied creeps no longer give enemy heroes experience.
Are heavily countering the Tiny. This Tiny is going to have a really tough time. Frost Armor, the Boar, the Sigil. They need a secondary.
A Shadow Strike,
yeah,
even?
I think they need a secondary carry to like back up the Tiny though. Tiny might not be able to do a lot of damage because he's gonna get kited a lot in team fights by everything, all the slows and Frost Armor.
And I'm curious to see how well the Lich is going to work versus the duo. You've also got the Chain Frost, which could be really devastating potentially.
I wonder if they're actually going to do the Lich. I mean, in the past when you draft Lich against IO, you want a Lich to go to the IO Tiny's lane, so you can mess up the experience of that lane.
Where are that Tiny and IO going for CIS-Rejects? Generally, they go mid, but we have seen some teams occasionally switch them over to the safe lane, so maybe the Lich will just stalk them.
Yeah, I think the Lich will just stalk them, follow them wherever they go. It doesn't really matter so much where they go as long as the Lich is in the lane. If it's Lich Queen of Pain or Lich Beastmaster, I still think it's a good lane against the IO and Tiny. So overall, I don't think they're too worried about how CIS-Rejects are going to lane their heroes, but it's going to be their Clockwork, their initiator for the relocate. I do still feel that they need a secondary like damage hero, like maybe SF or TA, some sort of hero that has carry potential, because Tiny is definitely going to have a hard time carrying alone.
Well, they are making room for one here as they grab the Clockwork, so very independent, doesn't need a whole lot of farm off-laner.
Yeah, not a resource-consuming hero on the off-lane.
Exactly. Alliance, how do they round this out? Probably the Loda hero still to come. And then I guess the question is, what would Loda play? He's been all over the place. We've seen his Lifestealer, Ancient Shenanigans, what was it, a couple of days ago?
I guess if you want to run...
a week ago?
I guess if you want to run Lone Druid, you can actually put Queen on Loda.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Then you can have a carry, like...
And then you've got the Beastmaster. Matches up pretty well against the Tiny IO because he's so damn tanky.
And they don't really have like big amounts of damage burst to kill a tanky hero like Lone Druid.
Let's say they ban Lone Druid.
And they
what
have
would the next
they have
option be?
frost armor for the bear. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, could be dirty. You know, you get the blade mail maybe. Have you seen that build, the Mascabandus blade mail?
No.
It's really annoying, man. The thing has so much health. So even if you kill it quickly, you take a lot of punishment.
And they're banning out the Ember. I wonder if they are actually going back for the PL, because usually when teams they ban Ember, it's it's a warning sign that they want an illusion based carry.
Or it could be a bait and they really want the Lone Druid and they're just banning Ember to throw CIS-Rejects off the scent.
Sometimes teams actually do that. They ban certain thing that counters specific hero, but they don't actually want that hero, they just want you to actually waste a ban on that hero.
CIS-Rejects have none of it. They will remove the Slark instead.
Very interesting. I mean, I guess it still fits with their lineup, and it's a good hero against the Io and Rubik. Very good at killing these two supports in general. But I just felt like they would have been wanting to go for something that's much more tanky with their lineup. If you want someone that can actually use the force armor well.
Trying to think, what else have we seen? I mean, Bulldog, pretty much all his go-to heroes already picked or banned. And that was definitely not what I had in mind.
Tank.
But it is a tank. It is a hero that's difficult to burst. Great to have versus Tiny IO.
Yeah. Good against the relocate with the Stone Gaze. And so right now they have Inner Beast plus the armor from the Lich to actually buff up the Medusa. And Razor's typical, a good way of countering the Medusa in team fights. You drain her damage. It's just like how you deal with Razor. And it's also a secondary hero that's going to be dealing out physical damage, because I felt like Tiny wasn't going to be enough in this game alone. So they needed someone else to help out in that department. So the lanes will be really interesting here. I guess Rubik plus Razor sounds much better together. And Rubik Razor in the long lane and in the safe lane, so you can have a long distance to chase heroes, so you can actually get the damage drain. And Io Tiny will be in their typical mid position, so you can keep stacking and controlling runes. And for Alliance, they have S4 on Corp, so it'll be offlane Beastmaster with Lich, I guess, and Tusk roaming around. Queen will be in the middle lane against the Io and Tiny.
Alright, let's see how this works out for CIS-Rejects. I guess they have a secondary carry in the Razor, but he's not normally known as being a massive damage dealer by any means, WinteR, so a lot of pressure on the Tiny IO duo to perform as we get underway. Game 1 of our best of 3. Okay, he's already TP top on the Lich. Looks like he's going to be looking to do a spot of warding here. Help secure the early farm for whoever goes to the offlane. For now, 3 heading towards bottom, S4 and Loda. And yet to be fully clear exactly how they want to arrange the lanes.
Medusa has the solo mid items, and Queen of Pain has the safe lane items. So I guess Loda is going to be up against the Io Tiny. With his mana shield, she should be really tanky to survive the burst from Tiny. And Queen will be on the safe lane, so you can actually put much more pressure on the Clockwork. I wonder where the Lich is actually going to go. He should be going top with Bulldog. And Tusk would be like roaming around, because it's a Queen of Pain safe lane. It allows the Tusk to be more free with his movements.
30 seconds to battle.
Queen of Pain now waiting for that first bounty rune, so CIS-Rejects. WinteR, when you look at these two teams and how they match up, CIS-Rejects, do you give them much of a shot here versus Alliance? Or do you feel like they're just going to be outgunned?
I think anyone can win though. The draft seems like both teams have their own distinct ideas, like different sort of ideas, and very solid overall. Both have their own play style, so we'll have to see in terms of execution who actually gets better decision making, gets the better rotations, and ultimately uses that small little advantages to actually secure them the game. So we'll see Vangscore here starting to block the creeps in the middle. Tiny gets the bounty rune. This is actually very unusual, because we usually see the Wisp getting the bounty rune and the Tiny blocking the creeps. They're doing it the other way around.
Is there any reason to do it the other way around?
I mean, you don't really need the bottle that early though, so you're still gonna get it at what, in 30 seconds time when you have your, the gold increment. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's definitely unusual. So maybe the Tiny just wants to, get the level 2 faster, I guess. That's the plan, so they can actually try and get a kill on the Medusa. They have a lot of ways of stacking Ancients though with the Beastmaster. So I think Ancient stacking will be something that Bulldog will be focusing on doing, so that he can actually give Loda a much needed income burst later into the game when he gets split shot.
There's going to be the fairly tanky Medusa in the mid lane. Of course, Mystic Snake did get another buff recently from the 25% increase per jump up to 35. I know you were playing with the Merlini Medusa yesterday, WinteR, and
The mango
that snake
Medusa.
does some damage.
The mango Medusa.
Yeah, I don't know about the quadruple mango build, but I definitely know the Mystic Snake hits a lot harder now when it gets towards those last few bounces.
It's like what, 500 damage? I think the last bounce at level 4.
Yeah, it's definitely 500 plus. It's a lot.
And so looking at this thing, if the Medusa can keep dropping the Mystic Snake on the Wisp and the Tiny, it should set her up in a very decent and good phase in the game though, as long as he keeps the Tiny low on mana so he can't really have the 2-spell combo.
Also, just a tanky hero as well, not something you can easily burst down. And we're going to see Loda grab that early point in the mana shield, so he seems to be doing okay versus the Tiny Isle. We'll take a look at the other lanes. Bulldog and Ake going up against Artez and always want to fly here. Razor Rubik versus a Beastmaster Lich. Historically, WinteR, any dual lane with a Lich almost always is the better lane, at least in the early stages. Do you think the Lich lane was the edge here? Or?
Well, they're going in with the Drain, but yeah, historically with the Lich you want to win the lane because Lich is a hero that is fairly one-dimensional. You want to be able to pick the hero just so you win the lane or you cripple a certain core in the game. So I think it's really important for the Lich to be able to do very well at the start of the game to secure that early game for the Beastmaster and to limit the farm of the Razor. And Beastmaster, MR Bulldog is going to get lifted by the Rubik, but no static link yet, still on cooldown, so just a little bit of harass here. And Bulldog has already opted to go for the early boots to just be able to run away from the Razor, especially.
So this, of course, leaves S4 bottom up against Goritz on the Clockwork and your Queen of Pain, as you would expect, off to a very dominant start in the safe lane. Kind of reminiscent of Secret, where they would often put Arteezy mid S4 into the safe lane. And
yeah, and we'll see
where showing a similar level of flexibility here.
We'll see where the Tusk moves around from here, though. He has got a sentry because he found out that the camp was blocked. No camp had spawned above the pool camp here, so looking to deward that. He already has his level 2 though, so he could look to rotate. Loda getting chased down by the Wisp and Tiny.
Oh, no.
Oh, his salve.
Loda didn't actually need it there. No way CIS-Rejects could have killed him, and well, he does have the bottle now, but he's just going to walk all the way home.
The courier was like being used on the bottom lane as well because the Tiny, sorry, not the Tiny, the Tusk was grabbing his sentry, so that actually forces Loda back to base. That
doesn't have a TP. I imagine we may
that
see
is
someone buying one for him.
That's a huge blow for him.
We'll have the gold fairly soon. Reduced costs coming in handy, but definitely slows him down a bit. And keep an eye on the Tiny Isle. No stacking as of yet, WinteR.
Yeah,
single stack.
They're really focusing on in the laning phase to make sure that the Medusa doesn't get too many last hits here. And Iceberg now going to pop his salve. And we see Vangskor here setting up to get his pull, but he didn't destroy the trees though, so he probably just going to get one pull here on the medium camp. Top lane, Ake is going low, and the Plasma Mafia are going to finish him off.
Just barely clipping him now. Artez on the hunt as well. While that's happening, my nuts works together with S4 to kill off Goritz on the Clockwork. So 1-for-1 exchange, but your first blood going the way of CIS-Rejects. And well, Artez extremely low here, going to ferry out an extensive amount of regen to try and turn things around. And well, the Tiny IO, meanwhile, they made a little journey towards the top rune. They grabbed I think a bounty rune for Vangskor, and yeah, it's a double damage awaiting Loda bottom. This will make him a little bit more of a threat in that mid lane as my nuts tanks a rocket early on.
And things are not looking good for them. For Alliance on the off lane though, Lich going down there, it's not something you want to see because you give away a lot of experience when you go down as a Lich. You're constantly dark ritualing to get an XP advantage over the opponent, so when you go down you give away a lot back towards the opponent.
They continue to pressure Loda in the mid lane. The toss back to the tower, looking for the big plays here from Iceberg, but still Loda has the DD rune. Mana shield only now depleted, but dropping quickly to this. There's going to be another toss soon. He pops the DD, but he hasn't been able to heal from the bottle. Jumped up and down, and Iceberg will throw him back to the well. Loda down, a 2-to-1 advantage, and that DD rune also wasted, so won't be able to use it to farm or even potentially to go for a kill.
Yeah, he's not having a good time though. He has decent amount of CS, considering that he TP'd back to base before that, but he's definitely not doing well. I think they actually expected the Medusa to actually do far better than this with the Mystic Snake buff against the IO Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the little things. If he has his bottle there a bit sooner,
yeah,
maybe he doesn't have to walk back to base. Yeah. He's a higher level. He doesn't die. He has extra farm. He maybe has the boots by now.
If he actually had boots there, he wouldn't have died for sure.
Now the boots are up, but I guess the good news for Alliance is that S4 is absolutely wrecking bottom. Gorit's still getting his levels here for the most part, level 4 already, but...
And we see Loda still constantly being able to, even though he died there, he's still being able to harass the Tiny and the Wisp together with the Mystic Snake. So starting from now on, I think he should be doing much better in the lane. He's going to be able to get much more CS, and 6-minute rune going to spawn. They should be able to secure this, so the Wisp is not...
Iceberg rushing in. It's a level 3 toss, and it should be enough for the kill on Ake. One more club, and they even snagged that regen rune as well. Loda unable to assist. The immobility of the Medusa working against them. But while that was happening, Goritz killed off solo by S4, who did not even have to expend a Sonic Wave for it.
He killed the Tusk, actually. He was killing the Tusk.
Oh, 1 for 1, you're right. So, 2 for 1 overall, again favoring CIS-Rejects, but S4, I mean, WinteR at this point, 40 CS, he's the leader in terms of net worth in the game, has the level 7. You gotta expect it's gonna be up to S4 to make a move sometime soon.
Yeah, I think the biggest move that he can make is to use his Sonic Wave on the Wisp Tiny. Anytime they have a dive on Loda, he's gonna TP in. I don't think they can afford to dive the Medusa at this stage.
Bulldog, he's out pretty far here. They start to get the damage flowing against him.
The Queen is
Plasma
coming
Field
top.
level 3 as well. The TP may come, but Bulldog is gonna bite the dust. Ake the one to rotate in.
Wow.
S4 stays bottom.
Wow. He did not actually rotate at all. Huh, that was really surprising. He would have gotten an easy double kill there with the Sonic Wave and Fan. The Scream of Pain.
Instead, he sits bottom. Looks like the Orchid build-up is the way he wants to go here, grabbing an early rope
mid
of the
lane.
Magi, and they are jumping on the mid lane again. Toss back onto Loda, but snowballing forward is my nuts to try and turn this one around. Here comes the rotation. He was waiting for the opening on mid. He jumps in. Blake Scream as well. Gets off the Queen of Pain ultimate, finishes off Vangscore, now turns onto Iceberg, has the Shadow Strike for this, and it looks like CIS-Rejects have finally overextended a little bit, though S4 in danger of going down here, has the bottle charge. Should be okay. So they, in the end, bait out the 3-hero rotation mid, but it's rewarded with a Tiny and IO takedown. And while that's happening, Bulldog, again, getting lashed in the top lane. Not really having too much fun against the Razor.
And they haven't really been doing a lot of like ancient stacking. I was actually expecting them probably to focus a lot on ancient stacking for the Medusa. But so far, S4 is going to start the first one. It's going to look to get a regen rune, hopefully at top lane, to make sure that he can actually continue to be out in the field.
Bounty rune, not quite what the doctor ordered, but he'll take it as the spirits. Oh, Iron Charge comes in, but he does have a couple of extra bottle charges to counteract that. So should be able to barely survive here. S4 forced back to the well. And while that was going on, an Invis snagged by Goritz, who's also cracked level 6 as he swings on towards mid. Nobody's showing in the mid lane right now.
It's waiting for Dusa to probably come back.
And speaking of the Dusa, there is a small big stack here.
Dusa actually went to bottom, so he's not going to be coming back to middle, but S4 is the one coming back to middle. This is going to be a really difficult kill. It's not easy though. They need to hook, maybe use the cogs, push back so that the Tiny can actually land the dual combo. But
or they'll just steal the stack. why gank that elusive Queen of Pain when you can just kill the creeps that won't run away? But S4, he's walking into this. Goritz pushing back with the cogs, threatening him if he tries to go, and his Iceberg commits. They get off the shards as well. Not really trapping anyone, just trying to deny some creep last hits. And now Goritz on the move, has the mango available if he wants to hook for this. S4 blinking back, dodges the stun, and now looks to commit forward, and Loda rotates in. Beautiful time to pop that Stone Gaze, isolating two. The Tiny, the IO, both down. Alliance defend their stacks in force. Even Bulldog was roaming that direction, but his services not required.
That was in the
just
end
backs out in the end.
probably not worth it because it was only a 3 stack they got, and they lost both the Wisp and the Tiny there. He probably
And this is also time they're not clearing their own stacks or stacking their own jump.
He probably should have relocated to at least save the Tiny there, but in the end he got caught in the Stone Gate, so he couldn't actually, just waited a little too long there, so he couldn't save the Tiny at least. If he were to able to save the Tiny, yes, it would have been worth it. Relocate comes top.
Double boards are waiting. Bulldog, a bit slow to react here, starts to run away. S4 rotates in, but Vangscore fairly tanky. Already has the urn up. Inake with the side-swiping ultimate, able to get the job done. They finish off the IO, but Iceberg's in pursuit, and now stealing the Scream of Pain. A toss forward onto Bulldog, jams it in. Iceberg collecting an additional kill. Now they lift back S4, the stolen Scream going to work. Oh, Iceberg just late on the Avalanche, but still committing. Has the toss available. It's only a level 2 blink. There's going to be some time here before S4 can get out. But does Iceberg find him? At the long glass, tracks him down. Scream, toss up and down, smacked with the club. And down he goes once again. A triple kill for Iceberg. 2,800 gold banked. Everybody from Alliance maybe thinking about rotating, but it would have been too late. And now a blink.
The blink comes out, so it's going to allow him to focus on the Lich and Queen of Pain. These two heroes are actually fairly squishy right now. They can actually be down in one combination, plus one earn charge or the waste balls actually hitting them. So they have to play really, really careful right now for S4, especially when he's going for the Orchid Rush. So he doesn't have as much HP as compared to a Queen that's going for first item Aghanim, so because you don't have that point booster.
What do you think of the Orchid Rush this game? Is this your preferred build on the Quap?
I'm actually not so sure though. I mean, it's this type of game I actually prefer to go for the Aghanims because you want a HP to actually survive the burst. And there's no like elusive hero, you know. There's no Ember, there's no Storm Spirit, there's no like Anti-Mage. You don't really want to get the Orchid to actually lock someone down. Obviously you can use it against the Rubik to get an easy kill or the Wisp, but I feel like at the end of the day it's gonna make you have to play very carefully because you are very easy to kill at the same time. It doesn't offer you defensive capabilities, you know.
Well, we'll see how it works out for S4. Still only one Oblivion Staff up as he tries to keep up with Iceberg. Finally goes to clearing the stacks. A bit late for a tiny IO, but they will clean them up. And with this, 1,400 gold bank can either get the drums or even just straight into the Ags. We'll see what the choice is going to be here for Iceberg. He is definitely finding his early farm.
He should be going right into the Axe. If he wanted to go for the drums, he would have already gotten a bracer. I think he's going to go for just the Axe and just start with a point booster here. So 12-minute rune going to spawn for Bang Score at top. Let's see if he finds a useful rune. Haste rune going to be bottled by him. And they're going to try to make a movement top. They have a ward spotting Bulldog's position.
Now, Bulldog has a Hawk spotting there, so no such luck. The shenanigans of the Rejects will be denied. Goritz, while that was happening, committed a hook shot, it looks like, but my nuts, it seems, able to snowball himself back to safety. Does live to tell the tale, and now gonna TP himself home. So haven't really seen much activity from Goritz pay off here, WinteR. He's gone for 2 rotations, 1 bottom, 1 towards mid, and no kills yet to show for it.
The supports on CIS are just much more... They have much more like levels at the moment, so...
Relocate top, making their move, but Ake's ready. He's in position with the Chain Frost. Need to be careful about how they approach this. Well, they will be. Nope, maybe not. Careful enough. Bankscore tanks an extra unnecessary bounce of the Chain Frost. That will cost him his life, though S4 may also pay for this. Plasma Field coming in. S4 thrown away. So in the end, it ends up being a beautiful bait. Trading away just a measly IO for an extra Queen of Pain kill.
That blink in was just a one-way ticket. It's still getting up.
One-way ticket back to the well. Ruh-roh. They're going to try to engage on this, though. Snowball comes out. The shards are there, trapping Artez, and then the Cogs even further blocking off the path of the retreat. There's only one way, and that way is forward for the Rejects, but with Loda here and a DD rune at his disposal, the Sigil slowing them down. The Rejects are rebuffed and probably about to give up at least 1 more kill, if not 2.
I think both of them are going to die. Beastmaster's teleporting in.
They do have Always Want to Fly coming, though. He's stolen the shards. Maybe he can block off the chase.
I don't think so. I don't think they have any chance.
Iceberg's definitely dead.
Yeah, Iceberg's definitely dead, and the Beastmaster is going to come down, and he's going to probably roll Goretz, and they're going to get the kill as well.
Let's see. Can Goretz hook himself away? Well, they say sec, but the unpause comes. I guess the sec is over. Goretz just going to get roared off the bat, and they get the double kill. Good call, buddy. Now the axe is stolen. Only level 2, and the Sigil even flowing. Always Want to fly
down. They might
down.
lose the Rubik as well.
Uh-oh. Trying for the TP out. Is there any way to cancel this? No, it doesn't look like it. They'll make it home, but still. In the end, Alliance able to collect some cleanup kills. Looked like it was going to be a nice win for CIS-Rejects.
Man, this Medusa, even though he didn't have a good start in the laning phase, but he has been making really good rotations to make use of that gaze. You know, it feels like a gyrocopter rotating in with an ultimate at a good time, securing his team a team fight.
Yeah, I think a poor man's gyro, but
it's
been getting the job done.
The cooldown is longer, but it's very...
And it's obviously much less damage.
Yeah, it's very similar, but he's way more tankier than a gyro at this stage of the game.
Loda still no? Oh, actually, there is an ancient
I think
stack.
he has a Yasha completed.
Hasn't used it yet, though.
Yeah, he has a Yasha completed, so he so far has the highest net worth on his team after successful team fights back-to-back. And he's getting into the right direction, though. I think late game wise, Medusa against Tiny, Medusa actually has the edge over Tiny because...
Okay. Oh, how dare you try to run through the jungle. You're mine! Iceberg finishes him off. Actually, Goretz sniping that kill. Maybe not ideal, but still they will engage. The snowball comes forward. Bankscore about to be brought back. They have to finish him off before this relocate ends, and they will. Also hunting for the Iceberg double kill, but he just squirms away to the bottom. He'll escape. And Bulldog, it's his turn to rotate. He swings on towards mid, but You know, Loda didn't finish off the Ancients. He's been very active, as you mentioned, WinteR. Now rotating on mid. And Iceberg there to greet him. Where's that toss back? Oh, no! Rejected! Goritz is denied by his own teammate.
We just found our BTS moment of the day.
That was not the plan. Well, at least they get a tower out of it. CIS-Rejects, still something going their way.
They probably wouldn't be able to kill Loda though. I'm not sure though. He still had his ulti in that fight, so maybe he...
Well, he might have lost the mana with the mana shield though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, true. He didn't have any stick charges left, so they probably get the kill there. But rather unfortunate. So CIS-Rejects are going to continue to pressure the tier 1 tower here. They have very good wards behind. One of the other wards in the Radiant jungle got rewarded.
As 4, he jumps into the avalanche toss, but not the one who got tossed, so he's able to survive it.
Yeah, he has to be so careful with his blinks though, with this item build against so much burst, especially against Tiny.
And he's even on agi treads when he makes that jump. Or it might have been in treads there, but it definitely wasn't strength.
He has to get like BKB as fast as possible. Iceberg jumping in with the dagger again.
The boar saving the day here. Prevents Bulldog from taking the bonus toss damage. And now, on the way out, Iceberg trying to retreat to the north, but he's lost his precious IO. Iceberg's going to go down again. A lot of kills being hemorrhaged here in quick succession. Rotating in Loda additionally, and they even chase forward. S4 able to finish off Always Wanna Fly. Looked like Goritz wanted to get involved. He even committed a hook shot.
He didn't get the connection.
Missed again, it looks like.
Yeah, he didn't get the connection there. That would have been crucial though. Probably would have been able to kill the Queen of Pain because the Queen of Pain already blinked forward. His Clockwork so far hasn't had the best game. He has been missing a couple of really key hook shots for his team. But right now, the Razors has 1600 gold, so we'll see whether he goes for that mech to help his team against what Alliance have. The Lich ultimate and the Queen of Pain ultimate has been doing so much of AoE damage in all these team fights.
So it's kind of late for a mech, but you still think getting one would make sense here.
Yeah, I think it's still really good against the AoE. Loda's going to get jumped here, but the Avalanche not connecting on Loda.
Series of miscues from CIS-Rejects. The tower not even denied. Loda casually plinks it down with his bow and now rotates into the woods here.
This Medusa's going to be starting to...
She's ahead of the Tiny.
Yeah, become a big problem.
Generally not ahead of Tiny if the game's even halfway decent at this stage.
They have the Frost armor now to actually further buff him. So Arcade just got an extra level and he starts to get his Frost armor. So this Medusa is going to start to be a really tanky and pesky problem in team fights. So right now, with the Gaze and the Sonic Wave, I think Alliance has much superior team fight. They have much more damage even with the Lich ultimate. So I think it's not going to be a time where CIS are going to look to team fight before they have BKBs online on their cores.
The whole Alliance squad is making a movement now. Smoked up, my Nuts, Ake, and Admiral Bulldog congregate and start heading towards top. Iceberg will be the first hero they detect. Instantly silenced by S4. Does reveal the Orchid, but this rotation, a lot of heroes showing up. Thanks for Iceberg hiding behind the tower. Now Iceberg going to show his pretty little head. There is that defensive relocate play, but
oh, they need to relocate.
They're hunting for the IO. Alliance know he's the key. The Hawk gets killed off though. Oh, they got the vision for the snowball. Now Bangs goes trapped out in the trees. Uppercut ends him.
I mean, that's the
and Iceberg just says, "See ya."
That's the same thing.
I
right?
can't help you, my friend.
You just want the Wisps to die there, and the rest of the team is continuing to split push. Tiny survives, continues farming. So this is the most ideal situation that CIS want happen. The Tiny not dying, the rest of the team continue farming, pushing. They even got a 1-for-1 tower trade in the end of the day. So all still going really well for CIS-Rejects. And they're going to go for an Sangye and Yasha, S&Y on the Razor instead of the Mech because they're looking to split push more, move around with more mobility. So they're not going to look to take any team fights at all.
And that's for your clockwork for Goritz. He's got to step up if they want to get kills. We've yet to see a single hookshot into a relocate kill this entire game. It's now 19 minutes in.
I think right now...
I mean, who else starts the fights for this team? Tiny, when he starts them, seems to be dying for the most part.
I think right now, whenever they want to start a fight, they have to make sure that Alliance is not grouped out together. I don't think they stand a chance if Alliance have at least 3 heroes together because all their heroes are really good at fighting together. And CIS are just going to look for small skirmishes, maybe get a singular pick-off here and there with the relocate and hook shot. There's no way they can take any form of team fights right now.
Do you think CIS-Rejects can just out late game Alliance here, or
it's
like is farming good enough, or do they have to also get kills and objectives?
We always talk about Waste Tiny late game. It's always really unpredictable because you can do backdooring. There's so many possibilities available when you talk about the Waste Tiny game going late. So I definitely feel going into late game, there's a lot of uncertainties, even though if you look at Alliance lineup, they have very good late game as well. But against a Wiz Tiny, it's really difficult to predict who will come out on top.
Alliance now committing a second smoke. Only one still available for purchase in the shop as they swing towards the bottom half of the map. My nuts in front. Bulldog close behind, worms his way into the trees. His smoke will break. He gets the hawk up, but this is right when Iceberg blinks in. Quicker to react is Bulldog, who roars immediately. My nuts snowballing onto absolutely nothing. Now Goreed's hooking and engaging. Has a blade nail picked up. This may cost my nuts heavily. My nuts dropping low. My nuts will go down in the end. The plasma field clips him. Ends up cutting him off. Now, the Avalanche toss combo used onto Loda. Well, actually, just the toss. The Avalanche coming soon. He's out of mana here. He's actually in a lot of trouble. Where's the backup for Loda? They're too busy hunting Artez, who zones the others back. Now, Iceberg committing forward. S4, one more auto attack would finish him, but the My Nuts turns around to try and save the day. The Blink now up on the Rubik already. It's a snowball steal and a jump in from Always Wanna Fly, trying to get an additional kill here out of this fight. This will be a dieback on the Tusk, I do believe. Indeed, he did commit a buyback for that one. So CIS-Rejects. They get the 2-for-3 exchange with the dieback on the Tusk, and they come out 800 gold on top.
Yeah, that fight was just way too split though, because Alliance were like you mentioned, busy dealing with the Razor behind, and they left Loda in front. Loda got the gaze off, but his team was just way too far to actually back him up, and the Sonic Wave didn't really connect on the rest of the heroes. I think it only just connected on the Razor.
I really like that play from Artez.
Yeah, it was a really good play, even though he died, but that was a necessary play, and they're gonna get this big prize, the Ancient Stacks. Oh my god, this is gonna be such a huge loss for Alliance.
Oh, S4 doesn't want to give it up that easy, but Iceberg, oh, he's actually roared. He's dropping quickly.
Man,
Will end up falling.
It's still worth it. It's still worth it.
Still almost the entire stack, and Vangscore does make it home with the TP.
It's worth it.
So they miss, it looked like 2 creeps there at the end. Probably got like 80% of the gold.
Yeah, it gives Tiny another 2,000 gold in the bank even after dying. So we'll be looking to see maybe Tiny wanting to go for armor as his next choice of item to deal with the Medusa, the Tusk physical damage, and even like some of the Beastmaster's damage.
Even that Inner Beast Star and now
Yeah.
a Necro Book under construction. He's opted for an early gem. Aki, the friendly neighborhood support who supplied it.
Yeah, I think it's really important because you want to have map control against IO Tiny. You don't want them to have vision in certain areas that they might allow them to get a pick off.
Oh, Always Want to Fly. This is a very confident movement. Has the Stolen Snowball, but he gets silenced. Goes for the lift. Ends up getting caught out. S4 gonna finish him off.
Man, that was such a
he had the ward. So I
yeah,
guess
he had the
felt
ward.
safe.
He saw 3 heroes there, and they only had.
He could have lifted him and blinked away. He could have just not gone in, but I guess he forgot about the Orchid.
But what was he trying to do? He was trying to steal the blink.
And then, yeah, but he could have used his Blink Dagger sooner anyway. So
And there was only Clockwork next to him. And if you talk about Tiny hasn't, like, he's still in his grave, so there's no relocate with the Tiny coming in. So that was just a really questionable play there from Always Wanna Fly. Not sure what he was actually trying to accomplish there. Maybe he was just talking to his teammate and then didn't realize what was actually going on. Stuff like this happens a lot. That's why you need to be able to multitask in a team game. The art of multitasking, LD.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure you are very familiar with it because you've been doing your own production for some time and doing some solo casting.
It's definitely something you want to throw on your online dating profile. You know, excellent multitasker under pressure. That's how you get all the Dota ladies, Winter.
I appreciate that advice, my friend.
So we have a pause here. Looks like Bankscore disconnected. No indication as to why. How's it going, buddy? You've not been sleeping much. You stayed up all night pubbing. Did you win? Did you gain some MMR? In the Merlini stack?
Yeah, some.
Yeah, some.
And we had a really fun time.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell?
All our mango,
You had a long night with Merlini.
yeah, our mango adventures. So okay, so it looks like Bankscore is back into the game. No time for stories, LD. Only time for the game.
No time to talk about your mango party. The 4 mango build, man. I don't know. I want to believe. I think Bulldog's experimented with that a bit as well, actually. On a more topical note.
I think it's actually really good though, honestly. It might sound silly, but...
Yeah, I mean, you don't normally have random gold, I guess. Slightly limits what you can do. But
Oh, the ward is going to scout out the movements here from Alliance. Artez
very fast. Very angry, Artez. Look at the damage coming out from 133 bonus, 189 plus. Gets the quick kill.
shot?
Maybe Bulldog Goritz. Nope. Hawk was blocking him.
Good play from Bulldog.
Good micro there. But still, Artez coming online and not a hero we've really talked much about at all, WinteR. But we mentioned the one moment where he had a great zoning play. And more importantly, he's just a beast right now. And they are looking to go here. Lift, relocate, not coming just yet.
Wow.
Oh, just Rubik trying to style on S4.
And he's really playing with fire. Bottom lane, it looks like CIS-Rejects are going to be successful at taking down the tier 2 tower. So Roche will be open for them whenever they feel like they can actually go. So I think ideally they want to force Alliance to be split up on the map, push out all the lanes and find a really good timing to Roche. They're actually going to go in right now. Okay, so the ward's going to spot out the movement there.
Everyone from Alliance is alive, but they are rather far away.
Can they do it fast enough, LD? That is the most important question.
Roche beginning to get towards the 50% threshold. They don't have any minus armor here. The IO slowly losing HP, popping bottle charges. Hawk will scout about the entire squad.
Where is
thinking
the
about rotating in.
They need Goretz to make space.
He's moving forward, has the double damage rune. S4 about to get caught out. He blinks in, he drops the quad bolt off the bat. BKBs as well, so the hook does nothing. Goritz just not finding his openings, and now Loda jumps in as well. Artez going to engage here, but he's caught out in the middle of the river. Roard committed on and will drop 2. Always want to fly now. The next man, and it's going to be 3 heroes sacrificing their own lives. Possibly a 4th. The clock drops as well. An Iceberg trapped in the pit. He has the Blink Dagger, but it gets canceled. He may die twice here. CIS-Rejects. They get an Aegis. They get a Roche, but was it really worth it? Blink Dagger.
Can he get out?
Can he even jump out in time? Who's going to have the quicker reactions? It won't be Iceberg. He is melting to the tusk. And Snowball will finish him. My nuts S4 combine, and suddenly S4 is godlike. 12, 2, and 10. What a train wreck
that was
for the Rejects.
Such a risky play. I was really... I didn't feel like they could have finished it on time, though. Because they didn't, like you mentioned, they didn't have a medallion. They were just relying on the tiny sprite click. No double damage rune. Usually when you make this kind of play, it's either you have a medallion or you get a DD rune. That is like the only 2 ways that you can actually make that play successful. Or the Clockwork actually...
Or they have a couple heroes dead, but they were all alive.
Yeah, or the Clockwork is able to somehow get a hook connection and get a cock block so that you buy... You have to die, but you buy enough time for them to actually get the Aegis and just get out scot-free.
This has been a real off game for Goritz. A lot of missed hooks. That fight hooks the BKB Quap.
He didn't even get the hook on the BKB Quap. He hooked his teammate the Razor. Yeah, on the Razor.
But I guess maybe didn't know there was a BKB there. But
I actually felt that it would have been much better.
He could have gotten the other 4 heroes.
Yeah, much better to hook the other team, like the rest of the teammates of the Queen of Pain when she blink in, so she's isolated and no one can actually come in to help the Queen of Pain. That might have been actually better for the Clockwork there. So we'll see immediate smoke again from the CIS-Rejects looking to get probably some wards down. We see always 105 wanting to get some deep wards down.
S4 in position here, does jump back and now always want to fly silence, caught out a bit. They even relocate Vanscar forward, but he's already at about half HP. S4 jumping in, he sees that squishy, delicious wisp and will quickly eviscerate it. Tiny try to turn this one around, clobbering my nuts, but can't finish him off just yet. It's up to the Razor. Artez gets the job done. They lost the Beastmaster and the Tusk on the other side of the fight, but that leaves a double damage Loda. Man, he's starting to rival S4, but for Loda, it's all about the DD runes. The triple kill from Loda High Ground. No mischance there, no sorry. Goritz next on the list. That'll be the gem. A full 5-man wipe. Again, double wiped. Aegis blown up in the last fight.
Man,
this game is getting ugly.
This is the power of the Medusa at this stage of the game. Coming in with the double damage rune, just able to clean up. And it's just really... I feel it's just CIS-Rejects still just being very over-eager in accomplishing things and trying to get kills when they could have just been focusing on speed pushing. I mean, the idea of getting a ward down is... I can't say it's wrong. They wanted to get vision down, but going for a kill in middle lane, which such a risky position, was just... Man, now Alliance is going to reclaim their ancient stack that they lost.
Are we going to see a reverse ancient wipe? Last time this happened. Oh, no, it's just going to be always want to fly dying again. S4 has just been... You know, we wondered, was Orchid the item? He has gotten so many free kills out of this Orchid. Rubik just not respecting it and getting punished.
Rubik is like the main hero that the Orchid is going to allow him to repeatedly kill all the time.
S4 now. All of a sudden, a fully completed Ags, Orchid, and BKB.
We rarely see S4 get Aghanim's on Queen of Pain though.
And he didn't even rush it. He went back for an Ags, but he's gotten so many kills so quickly. 15, 2, and 13. They have 31 kills. This guy has been in 28 of 31. That's just magnificent, honestly.
What more can you say about that? Just a really good.
S4 is back. I think that's what you could say.
That's just a really good performance on the Queen of Pain this game. So right now, CIS-Rejects are just opting to go back towards their speed pushing, which I felt they should have done a lot earlier. But it's gonna come at a huge cost of. They should be able to get a 1-for-1 trade here. I guess they're even gonna be able to secure the tier 2 at top much faster with the Tiny. And Alliance is going to rotate Minets back to try and at least stop the teleport from Vangscore or try to get a kill here.
Shards come out, they commit the snowball, and now the double TP, and as S4 engages, Vangscore again caught out,
Hook
silenced,
shot?
and
Hook shot?
will go down in the end.
He missed his hookshot again.
And Goritz not able to cancel that TP.
Oh my god, that was so crucial for him to cancel the TPs.
Has he hit a hook this game? Honestly, I can't remember seeing one. I mean, he hit his teammate in the Roche pit, but I don't think that counts, WinteR.
We've just
Goritz is, I mean, I've seen this guy have some monster games, but this is just not his day, or at least not his game.
We've seen so many good clockwork performance over the course of the week at ESL, but this game, definitely Goritz not performing up to par. He needs to at least land his next couple of hook shots to get his team back into the game though. If the game continues to spiral out of control, the Alliance high ground push will come and it's going to be super difficult for CIS-Rejects to defend it. They don't have a secondary item on the Razor yet.
And the Tiny still doesn't have AC either, although it looks like he's just about got
Let's
the
see what the
gold.
Razor wants to go for. Is he going for Shivers? Or he's going for... Okay, BKB. Just BKB.
That's 4. Hunting, but Goritz will TP out. Dodges away from that gank. You see S4 running around with a lot of swag at this stage. Really not concerned about anybody catching him out. It's a bit of an issue here for the CIS-Rejects. They don't have the best control for a BKB quap.
Hookshot?
You just giggled to yourself as you said it, WinteR. I think that says it all.
It's like calling... Oh, vacuum is a stun.
I remember when we used to have our little back and forth. You're like, well, they have poison touch.
They have shuriken toss.
Come on, LD, you idiot. Yeah, not the last time you called me an idiot.
Technically, it's a stun.
Technically. It contains a stun component. You are right, my friend, as always. WinteR was always right. Alliance grouping up mid, and so too are CIS-Rejects. We may have a bit of a skirmish here brewing. Hawk jumps in. Yeah, Iceberg says, I can kill this. This is something I can handle, but he gets slowed down. And now Iceberg, if he actually dies because he blinked in for
double
a
damage.
4, this would just be the worst possible way to lose a fight. Shards come out, barely failing to trap Goritz, but they get the Necro 3 deployed, and they will successfully deny a single rune. And as you mentioned, there's a DD rune bottom. Not sure anyone scouted it in that
I think
active engagement.
Queen was nearby. Maybe he didn't see. Maybe S4 just didn't see
S4
them.
saw kills. He was, I guess he wasn't looking at the rune.
So next item for the Queen should be either an armor item or he decides to go for the refresher to just blow the Wisp up every single time. It's either he goes for Shivas or AC. Is anyone else building those items? Medusa should be just going for his standard stat heavy item, so I guess S4 will be going for either the Shivas or the AC.
Haster now snagged by Loda. It's been like a Haster or DD every time I click on this guy. You know, it's honestly unbelievable.
He got it from his teammate, you know.
Yeah, S4 he's leveled up. Now he can give his teammates his own rune luck. That's his special ability.
I wish you're gonna give me more than rune luck, my friend.
I'm not sure. What more could S4 possibly offer?
Give me the kills, of course.
Ah.
Give me all the kills, the 15
I mean,
kills.
he's 15-2-14. I feel like he's been spreading the love. It's not like he's 32-1 here or something. Is that not good enough for you? You want to see a support quap in the house?
You know, I remember back those days where you tried to give the carry the kill all the time. Oh, give me the kill, give carry the kill.
That was the days when it would not be unusual to see a Crystal Maiden with like just a pair of brown boots, magic wand, and wards at like 30-40 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Gone are the old days, man. So right now, CIS-Rejects are just continuously just trying to speed push. I don't think they have any moves left available. They can't really take a head-on fight. They just have to rely on speed pushing, and hopefully Clockwork's gonna land a hook shot this time around. Goretz pops his Blade Mail.
They relocate in, trying to isolate and lock down Bulldog. Glimmer caped and kept alive by the Lich for now. They toss forward, always want to fly, but that's into a terrible location. He'll end up going down Iceberg. Not exactly what he had in mind. Now Bank score deleted by the S4 ultimate, and they rush forward, trying to finish off Iceberg before he can retreat. No more stuns available. At the very least, the Tiny lives to tell the tale. It just feels a bit too late. Connects on the hook, but Alliance is 5-man. You mentioned CIS-Rejects couldn't fight this winter. That was 10-15 minutes ago. They've only gotten stronger since then. And now Alliance, they're on your doorstep. How do you handle it?
So you first pop your glitch, and then you have to... I don't think they can handle it. Without the Wisp and the Rubik, they cannot go near and take a fight right now. They're gonna drop S4 pretty low. Is there any earn charges for him? Okay, they have
Still has the BKB. Hasn't even had to go below the 8-second charge yet.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose this tower for sure, I guess. Oh, maybe not. There's enough time for both the supports to come back online, and Alliance is just gonna back off. And so it's gonna be the AC completed on the Queen of Pain. Hook shot.
Alright, another hook from Goretz. He's heating up, but is there backup for this Blade Mail deployed as well? They need some detection. Always want to fly. Has the Sentry Ward available, and they will drop Bulldog down. Finally finish him off. Artez, he's gone in even deeper, but he tanks a Walrus Punch. A lot of damage. Oh, a beautiful snowball touch. Able to keep the Razor alive. And in fighting condition now, S4 blinking, frantically scrambling. A wild avalanche off the mark. S4 hangs on to his massive kill streak, but Ake, well, he may not be so lucky. Chain Frost is cooling down, though. This could be bad for the Rejects. They're going to snowball in again. Ake, Chain Frost, always on Oni onto always want to fly. No bounces, it seems, as My Nuts gets the retaliation kill. A 2-for-1 so far. They're really hustling for these extras. And My Nuts, surrounded and clubbed, will die. 3 heroes for 1. Artez barely surviving. That snowball, man. That definitely bailed them out.
Yeah, and more importantly, they lost their gem though, so it's gonna allow the CIS-Rejects to actually further control the map, and Arke immediately just buys a new gem, realizing how important for them is to just always have true sight to actually make sure that there's no wards and there's no vision on the map, even though there's no Glimmer Cape on any of the CIS-Reject heroes.
They do have a gem right now as Goretz. Yeah, just hooking creeps. Well, guess he doesn't think he's going to need that for the next minute or so.
He's been landing his last few hooks.
He has, yeah. But now he's got no hook for 40 seconds.
So they're going to be able to scout out this ward here with the gem that they actually stole from Alliance. And looking at the net worth from the Tiny has caught up with the Medusa and the Queen of Pain. So things are looking pretty good for CIS-Rejects. They finished a BKB on Iceberg as well, so he's going to be able to stand and fight. But most of the damage that Alliance has is going to be able to go through his BKB. I guess he's just going to be able to avoid the disable, the snowball from Tusk, and the spell damage obviously from the Lich.
Your Lich, Ake, almost level 16 already. He's getting close to that level 3 Chain Frost, the 1 minute cooldown.
This Medusa is so tough to take down with the ice armor and the assault.
Always want to fly. Zaps the Hawk, but the Snowball's going to hunt him down. The Shards come out while mid-Snowball and then punched, and Iceberg tries to turn this around. They engage directly into the full complement of nukes from Alliance, and Tiny can't handle it. He's down. Io's next. It's 4 dead as the Clockwork came in with just collateral damage. Gem dropped as well. As quickly as you think CIS-Rejects may have slowed down Alliance's progress, they get another essentially team wipe, and will take a Roche for free on top of it.
This is the time where you go to your chat wheel. I immediately regretted my decision. Sorry, team.
Yeah, the entire team missing.
But why would they actually go in there to fight? To just sit, just to save a Rubik? If you're trying to save your Tiny, I understand that move though, but you're trying to save a support.
Well, they had a BKB on Tiny. He didn't get it off, but like you said, I don't know how much it really matters. You've got the AC on S4.
It really didn't
A lot of
matter.
physical damage.
It's so difficult for them to take a team fight still.
But even the Solar Crest, so you can amp up what Loda's doing with his right click.
I think this is just game though. They're going to lose 2 sides of Rax here.
It just feels like too many missed opportunities for CIS-Rejects, too many mistakes. Definitely didn't seem like a draft issue. The lanes went okay, but yeah, they're just getting punished in the fights now. It's always want to fly. Silenced again. The Orchid has been his downfall this game, and again, S4 delivers 17-2 and 18. They just keep on pressing and hunting the little ball. Little ball will fall. Next on the list, probably Artez. Roared up. Can't even pop the BKB in time, and if he tries, it won't matter. Gory's not going anywhere. Loda just farming heroes right outside the tier 4 towers. Iceberg being slowed down. BKBs to little avail. They've already caved in the racks. And Alliance potentially looking for more. Loda stands to fight. He's letting Artez deal quite a bit of damage here. Maybe some cleanup kills. Loda backing off. There's the toss. Avalanche also available, but the Glimmer Cape doing a bit of work here. Ake taking the lion's share of the club damage. They really do want that gem, but at the same time, they also want the Loda kill, and Loda has overstayed his welcome. He will pop the Aegis once. Can they kill him a second time? That's going to be the question. S4 is back. He's got a BKB. He's got his ultimate available soon. Artez likely to go down here. S4 commits, finishes him off. It was all a bait. It was all a trap. The clock can't get out. They lose 2 more. No buybacks on anyone. Iceberg just watching Alliance retreat, but the Hawk's going to scout him out here, and now he's likely to drop too. Iceberg down in a matter of moments, unless Always Wanna Fly has got something incredible up his sleeve. Vangscore does rotate in, courtesy of the relocate, even popping the mech to try and keep them alive, but Loda keeps on crushing his way forward, trying desperately to finish off Vangscore. Will miss uphill. Might not have gotten the kill anyway now. Iceberg with the counterplay, tossing, but just can't scratch the Medusa. Your armor, no match for the Snake Lady, and down he goes again. 4 heroes fall. Loda, he's just not leaving. Neither is S4. 22 and 20 in a 40-minute game. He's been involved in 40 kills. A sensational showing from the captain of Alliance here. And I think the Rejects, they've had enough, WinteR. They'll call it here. Just a brutal thrashing at the end.
This Medusa, have to say, not a good laning phase, but in the team fights, he proved to be really useful too in securing them all those early crucial fights that it felt like the Tiny got a really early Blink Dagger and CIS-Rejects were in control of the situation. But then the Medusa came into team fights and started to claw back her way into the net worth department because she had a lot of like, I think that she won 2 crucial early team fights for his team by coming in with the Zone Gaze both in their side of the jungle. So I think it was a really crucial part of allowing Loda to come back into the game after the disastrous start because his bottle got jacked by the sake because the Tusk was using the sentries.
Yeah, that felt like it was actually one of the huge turning points in the early game, but they still had their moments after that to come back.
It's like in a pub, that happens, you're like, my bottle, dude.
Yeah, Loda, give him credit. He didn't tilt. He ran back to base. He TPs in. He does die, maybe an avoidable death in most situations, but Alliance just played very poised, and man, S4, he had the 1v1 matchup against Clockwork, but you don't often see a player take advantage to that extent. That was just absurd.
I think this game is just more of it's not like CIS-Rejects got outdraft very, very badly. It's just they didn't really get their execution on point. The Clockwork hook shots early when they were in control of the situation of the game, they missed a couple of really key hook shots, and I think the Rubik was overextending a lot of times. He was really over-eager to get vision done for his team. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of couple of like team decisions that were, you could say, questionable from them as a whole, so you can't really blame like a specific player, but it was just like CIS-Rejects, they were presented the opportunity to control the game, but they just didn't make the right call.
They did not grasp it. They did not seize it.
Yeah, they did not seize the opportunity.
Slip away. Well, with that, Alliance now leading 1-0 in their best of 3, guys. Winner will move on into the round 2 of the winners bracket. Loser drops down, not eliminated as of yet though, but CIS-Rejects definitely up against it here. We'll get ready for game 2. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the Summit for Europe. Stay tuned.